at the bottom of the table. So all of these kind of things. And listen, one of our big stories is going to be who can shut down aspas. Is he just going to run rampant? And immediately he goes down. Yeah. Mazino baited into making another re-clear play as well, thinking that G2 would probably leave that area after they got the early pick. And so, listen, this pistol round is basically wraps already. G2 are going to be able to get in, get the plant, and play a post plant in a 5v3. And Leaf, miles away, can connect on some kind of post plant flank as well. You couldn't write a better beginning for G2.
No, you really couldn't.
GB was asking the question, what happens if this team gets out to a strong start and slaps down Lev early? Oh, this is looking good at the beginning.
One of the questions I had was that who was going to be shutting down the monster player that is aspas. Now, Leaf,
wait,
is that? Hold on. They're just defusing! There's no shot! They're getting away with that! I think the one player sitting there is JonahP looking to contain, and they're just going fast with this one. The reckoning to set themselves up. Even the reveal onto kiNgg. It's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here. JonahP could clean up, surely. At least hearing multiple footsteps. It's a hard rotation of Lev. Many mollies being forced out already just to try and push them back and away from this plant.
And this is going to pull out a little bit of the cove. There are two players that would die to one shot of aspas as well. So there's still going to be this pressure to get the plant down.
Timing to take the fight. kiNgg, he's dropped trent. These rifles are not really doing too much at all. They swarm the position. They've got them surrounded. There's not a single avenue that's open for him. JonahP got to offset and contend. Do some damage. Look at this early peek into elbow. Will anybody just walk right into him? What an adjustment and a flick. That was a jump spot from Icy.
Oh, that was so good. On Icy's extended arm as well.
This off angle is dirty as well if you're not anticipating it. It's rare that a jet would really play up here, but a couple of stray bullets means that Trent does have that level of awareness.
2 cages. He can cage this off, open the door, put a lot of pressure on these players. Close here.
No way, just a dry swing and peek for that mid-round information. Not set up with the util yet. He still survives.
Leaf didn't go for a
kill, and yet Leaf was not able to survive that Horse lurk. This is just falling to pieces. Rattled.
Rampant.
This shot's
That's absurd. Slow that one down for me. Oh my God.
That's an elbow.
And by the way, that's not a wall bang. Don't understand how. Don't ask me.
Pixel perfect accuracy from this guy.
Balls. Icy's somewhat committed. You'd imagine he's going to use his ult to disengage here.
Next.
What did he
crush? Dimensional drift forwards here. I mean, somewhere the other side of the map, that's aspas actually going down into elbow, and he's spotting out a few of these stragglers who are seeking to defend now this B side, but it is easy access for them, or at least it should be in theory.
A little confusing on Icy's ult pathing, but it's got G2 the site. They're going to pit.
Yeah, pit down. Tag onto the backside player, shock darts, rebounding. Sending in that long-range artillery, but Mazino eager to not make any noise, just waiting for the rest of his team, trying to play inside this pit, and that flank attempt, while it does pay off. Tex taking out valyn. They still have to deal with a lot of obstacles that are here, but that lights them all up towards the back of the site. Leaf is doing dirty work here all around the map and the site. Struggling, contending. How will have turning this? JonahP.
Not again.
Last one left inside the pit, but this time the molly is correct on the course. And a spray down as well.
Getting punished, so let's see how that happened. Yeah, just going for the setup. They'd heard a lot coming up holes, so aspas felt like he was safe to go for a peek like that. And that's the power of the Yoru. You have the Yoru and the clone running up holes. It makes it feel like there's
pressed here with the drone. Through, getting the one tag, not spotting aspas, but now they're calling him out. What kind of kills he's going to be able to get here, though, with a deep dart over and away. Clone dodged, duked with the cages, really just making this one hard to collect any sort of kills, but they are flooding in the direction of Lev for now. Updraft, dodging away and avoiding! What is that adjustment? aspas right now will not be denied! And this guy's just flexing on him!
I think he's read it. Look, he's so far offside.
Yeah, he's just way out of dodge here. I mean, he's been playing in his backside position pretty frequently. Clone sent in, along with a dart. It's going to clear out most of the side with a cove into the choke, but they have to wait out those mollies. And, I mean, Lev have already followed these sound cues. Guess what? They've already rotated into position. Either for a flood defense, or now they can just start sending it out, but they're going to let Icy get this plant off for now. Gate crash. Back to safety now into this post plant here. kiNgg. In a corning, aware that Leaf is already just going to be playing tucked into it. He doesn't actually have any util or snakebite to clear it. Hunter's Fury forwards. Leaf finds that first fight with the Hunter's Fury as well. These players, they cannot stand their ground and shoot back. Lev putting it difficult now. Snared up into the sides. aspas seeking that rifle. Pressing forwards now to 2v2, and they know exactly where valyn is. Dashing forward, start rebounding. It's absolute chaos here, but what can aspas do?
They're going to start working their way up mid. Last time they got up by aspas, but he's not here this time.
This time Icy just using the gate crash to get a little bit deeper into these angles. The dimensional drift. Put a spot out and clear out almost the entirety of this side. In fact, yeah, it's free for his team to now take and get into the post.
One of the problems with Leviatán's retake in the previous round is that they didn't have people flanking. That angle is filthy.
Just sees right over the top of the high tide, so they assumed it was a safe plant. Not the case. Flash, peek, Icy in the back, but his anti-flash dodged. Mazino looking far too clean with the reflexes. 3 players. Leaf's gonna have to do an awful lot of lifting here to try and make this one winnable. Such a large disadvantage. Now time is being bled off the clock, but they're losing out these duels, and the lineups still going to be played from afar already. Mazino sticking, gets his hand.
But frankly, that's like a side note. It's not really what won the round.
Joking. Wow. Last chance to do something. Mazino not being faked out there by the clone, but I mean, Icy is playing anti. Tex follows through now with a Hunter's Fury. He's going to be chasing all sorts of kills. The Cove making it difficult, but well, the Cove will not withstand that kind of pressure. It's galvanizing. Oh, this is just ripping them to shreds.
Tex is such an eco-cobra in this game. He's running around, snaffling up the players of G2. See if they set him up for the next one. Can he drive the dagger into the heart of his former team?
Yeah, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. But yeah, what an absolute certainty. That's why G2 are making their way over towards B, just in case. Icy. Good kill to collect. Tex the lurking player down towards Halls, but now pretty aware of the fact that this is going to be an A plant. The dart. Lever going to be using that to take that backside control. Com could definitely get caught here by this fast flank occurring right behind him. Yes, was unaware of the fact here, and he is going to be squeezed from every single position and angle. I mean, with the classic, how much work is this guy doing? Having to dodge and juke and duck away from these shock darts up onto the ropes. JonahP does win that fight out. This is a great start for G2. Good advantages to be found, and they are making it nice and clean. Aspas. Last one now. Try and push them all back here. Only 5 more bullets left, and there's no easy shots, no easy targets. Valyn now sticking that defuse, and guess what? Not planned for him, but the Cove in place.
Has the gate crash. It's well thought out. Do they think about Leaf? This is where the high tide was pointing.
Oh, it's just not expecting it. But yeah, great awareness from Tex, knowing that that was a slight gap. Had to be re-cleared here. Now Lev can make their moves all the way over. Valyn, though, Outlaw in hand. 2 shots will do it. Volleys have to be dodged and juked and avoided and evaded, but not the bullets. Tex is just lighting them up right now. What a takeover in a round. Subtle with it. He's one away now from the ace. Feels like we haven't seen too many of them, to be honest, in the Super Week, but...
This is one of those aces where you get the 4 kills very impressively, and then the rest of your team tries to help you hunt down the final one.
They know where he is, JonahP. Shots. Landing. That is denied. I mean,
right, get down.
Yeah. Get down. I'm the one playing for the stats. But that is insane. Yeah, I mean, just feeling just...
The difference was on the pistol, Tex also went down, so that trip was disabled.
Spotted on the shoulder. Tex wins that fight. No else left immediately, but Valyn, what a response from him. I mean, just 3 kills toppled like that into the main, executing. And we talked about it. It was the difference maker last time. The double swing is lovely with the coordination. All caught to perfection, and rinse and repeat, I suppose. Mazino. It's an ace on the cards here for Valyn. Wall still up, he can back away, and he does have the spike. With only 17 seconds to utilize it. Running short and shy of the time, so Mazino sticking the plan. Valyn gets a bit of a run on, and there's the kill, okay!
Slightly worrying as well that they've only got one strategy that's working so far, which is this defense setup where Valyn and JonahP push down mid. Now, it's great that it's working to stop these sight hits from coming through, and Lever going for an A split.
Yeah, wow, no command. Waves emanating out now. It's going to be catching all the players towards the back of the site and more. JonahP, he's feeling that squeeze. Valyn to the side, playing that anti-flash through the cage as well. Many targets to deal with. He is being overwhelmed here. JonahP just can't provide that supportive fire, but the rest of G2 still alive and kicking into the 2v2. Aspas wasn't dropped in the midst of this one, and now he's going to be re-exploring up towards the stairs. Trying to take a good fight as well, but doesn't overstay it. Dart doesn't get broken in time. Aspas playing out of the position. Trent. What a fight to take. Got the confidence back with that one. Com Would have to be ridiculous from him. And the fight to be an isolated 1-on-1. Sova versus Sova. Shock dart, rebounds away, getting the info, getting the knowledge, a jump spot, an additional confirmation, and Com running round and round, but Trent, that's the sole player playing towards double doors here. He will be applying that extra pressure and squeeze through from the main players. They are not looking towards it. Hopped up, get the info, just barely ahead, but missed out with the Blade Storm. Hunter's Fury will relieve quite a lot of this JonahP though. Weave it in and out, but the Phantom Spray just can only do so much. Still, 2 kills. Did donate over the rifle with him falling.
Toxins.
The plant down as well.
There's a fight on the flank.
What are we feeling? Worried about it. Yep, this flank potentially being hurt here by Leaf. Reckoning used to take this space up and scale quite fast onto the approach. kiNgg has already caught himself a kill. Already with that rifle that has been done in and only just being dealt with in the main angle. They know where Leaf is now at a position, and time ticking away despite being planted. Leaf is getting a move on here. He's not really being shy about it, not really obfuscating any sense of his positioning.
Like a full A main push, and then your Jet with Blade Storm is creeping quietly up through double doors. The idea is to disguise the fact to make the defense.
Intended for the unbreakable one. The trips are pushed a little bit further back. There's no way. Ball's nowhere to run really here. It's a tight corridor, confined. It's exactly necessary for Trent to confirm that kill. With Tex falling, 2-2, you get that advantage here. What a time to do it as well when the weaponry wasn't looking too ideal, but Lever immediately just taking up all the space into mid.
They're making this again feel like they're getting set up for a B hit, while this lurk from aspas and Com is very disguised. Look at the player archers. They're all looking at the site now, only just now thinking about the mid lurk.
And they've lined up perfectly for him. Com and aspas,
so good.
They're tearing them to pieces. I mean, they were using their own high tide against them to get into that top mid angle as well. Just a bait and switch. Valyn really just seeking to pluck him apart in that mid angle as well, but he's not going to be able to get too much done now. Still, the pit will fade away. JonahP, they've got to be aware of his position, and now definitely so. Dart just lights him up. Shock dart's pushing him back and away. Mazino with the plant and a pit to play within. Should be a done deal, except leave. No! Just util out at very wrong timing. Leaf now hopping around the place, man. He's seeking an avenue, a kill, anything at all, and he is making it look relatively fancy. Really putting that Spectre to good work, the jumping out, and why? But he doesn't have a rifle for it, and it's such a long sightline. Damage done to aspas, updraft for the info, high ground angle played, 5 HP to Leaf's name, sticking half, already gained. Can he get it? Not quite at all. Time plays through and through. This so similar by G2. I mean, look at this. Hard flank up through mid, making sure that they take all that space. They realize it's coming on through A. It's a flank with 3 players. They contact into the turret, and they actually just think twice about it.
Yeah, the turret's broken, so now Leviatán need to look behind them or try to react forwards. Com seems to be prepping a recon for aspas to push.
He's incredibly deep and aggressive onto the angle and approach, but he has just skewered the man. Sheriff in hand. He lets it sing. JonahP, it's quite a good job, honestly, of just trying to shore up the offense here onto the retake. Leaf now is alone in it. Spots out the 1 and the 2nd, so he's got to know these players' positions, but he needs to find the kills with only 5 bullets to do it with. Spraying him through, needs to get that reload online, but doesn't anticipate this angle from the back, doesn't know where to look. With the spike ticking away, time has ran too short for it. 2 players tucked deep onto the side. Valyn, he's going to be one to watch. Lowered angles, high tide rips its way through and across, and he wins the fight. Guarding the angles, it's a flood attempt here. Time's running really damn short, really damn low. Can even get themselves onto the side to get this plant online. Where is the spike's been dropped into the middle of nowhere? In fact, I mean, aspas is going to have to stick this one just where he stands.
It's a very safe plant. Leaf's not going to be able to disrupt.
Now, are they going to be able to double up? Where are these bullets flying through? Right through the screen. Leaf wins it out, just as we were talking about that head-to-head battle.
Re-clear potential going on. And another thing to draw attention to is Leaf's ultimate.
Maybe
he's just sending it?
Yeah, just sending it. I think just hearing that pressure over towards the A side, maybe just trying to buy some time. It is a strange one. It's early on into the round.
If you use that for retake, I don't think Lev have any tools to break it.
Now Mazino, that's his cue, ends up sending the reckoning. Hello, fight! I mean, just startling and scaring each other there, but Icy, he doesn't win it against Text. valyn, a wide face there, just trying to dodge and avoid the stuns that were sent flying. Vulnerable up, but it doesn't matter. Never win it out with the gunfights.
Oh, JonahP snake bite actually takes down Mazino, who gave his life and the cove to get the plant.
A real chance here. I mean, JonahP lurks his way up top, but the angle's watched for by Com here. Pit's going to be covering it. It's a blight on the map. They've got to start winning some rounds and stringing them together here and now. An attack early on. That is right on target and right on line for a potential disaster class here for G2. Two players getting tagged down as well to the really just double digits of the HP. Tex is forward now with the rest of his team over the top of the ropes here. They don't want to slow down in the slightest. Mollies might make this one a little bit tricky and a little bit awkward still. Gonna hold down that ground. Aspas delivering death blow after death blow. This guy is just unstoppable right now.
Nobody on G2, because it gives information to Leviatán that defense has pushed up on A. But now that they've taken the whole of B, they've missed their opportunity, still don't have the ult online. Not that it'll particularly matter for this round.
Snake bites. Not quite going to land into the corner here, but with the dart, they just think it's entirely cleared up here. Leaf, how's he managed that? 2 kills. Just with the Sheriff, can't quite manage the third, but definitely damage being done left. Instantaneous on the response, but it's a 1v1 just like that. Flip of a coin. Blink and you will miss it. Trent doesn't quite have the gun to really do the job. Tex with the rifle. He's holding this one at an off angle. Plenty of util though for Trent to work with, and he is going to send loose that dart. Gets the acknowledgement now that he knows where Tex's position is. Dropping down with the turret. A few shots fired, and it's a game of that timing's wrapping around. Just the crate, a tap, not quite, just full stick in this one. Swinging so wide! Trent! He rips his head clear!
But actually, it's not cleared by the time the cloudburst dissipates.
Agile. Knowing all the ins and outs of the angles. Meanwhile, pressure over towards B. That will force this Viper's pit out.
They've missed Jonah.
They have missed it.
Oh no, got the tag.
Got the tag, yeah, in the end. And Tex is quick onto the approach. Look at this. He's got to be worried about the snowman position. Holding the reckoning. But it just looks like Lev. Okay, it looks like they contact as far as they're willing to go. Setting out the reckoning. No golden beams of light in the air, so they know it's relatively free. But now sent out by G2, Hunter's Fury, Trent. At this particular angle, Aspas trying to go for that same spot once more and just did all that damage from behind the flank. It's all synced up. In the chaos of the situation, Leaf is striking them right where it hurts. Zeno can't reset the aim.
You know, if you missed a shot here, you're really relying on Trent and valyn.
Zeno, some level of awareness. No, not quite. Who's going to jiggle for that one? It's a combined offensive. Icy. It's given time to rescope him, but Aspas will not let him get away with that. He's so hot on his heels, and he is deep into the site now, claiming all of A. Just the entirety for him. Leaf, though, immediate shutdown.
I have the spike.
Another situation, actually, where Leaf's having impact. This is going to be difficult for kiNgg. G2 could even play full A retake in this position. I think you can play full A and B retake. As long as Leaf and Jonah group up and find an opportunity to use the lockdown, they should checkmate kiNgg.
That's what they're doing. Backs against the walls, making sure that they cover the cross and the blind spots of each other. But kiNgg have open access here to the A site. Go for the plant, a lockdown committed. Now, this will confirm kiNgg's position no matter what. Does make it more predictable. He wants to get ahead of it. And guess what? So does Leaf. Way ahead of it. Expecting that to already be cleared out and respected, but kiNgg, it will do nothing of the sort. Into the 1v1 over the ropes, missing it! Slightest.
It shouldn't have required Aspas to shut down Icy. The AWP has moved.
Oh, it's getting competitive as well with that early kill. Straight down mid, up the gut. kiNgg falling nice and early. These advantages flowing the way of G2.
I think that's got to just be spanned through smoke, right? kiNgg must have bloomed his Viper off.
Got to think that's insanity occurring. I mean, G2 just like that. You talk and talk and talk about Lev being this world beater team, and then just like that, G2, they answer back in kind. Broken, going for a swing and an attempt. Tex. It's risky, but ultimately wins it out. With Com helping out with the Hunter's Fury. Any sort of connections? No. Any sort of space gathered? Not quite. Team not really taking it just yet.
I think you could slow this down if you wanted to. You don't have to go into the plant immediately.
Oh, but they're rushing straight into it. A lot of util as well. Expended there with a shock darts. He's trying to break that one. The plant is down for them.
You've got Pit here, lockdown.
Welcome to
Lots of
my
opportunities
world.
to make this difficult for G2. The drone's already in. Did it tag onto Mazino? It did.
JonahP to get that early tag. Forces out the shock darts here. On the side, G2. How do you get around this? Difficult to chew through and work through. It's a really hard pit, man. I mean, it just obfuscates all the available angles. Wingman sticking onto the defuse here, but broken. An IC decay down to 1, single digits. Dwindling. But the chances here, might be able to get some exit kills, but really that's all about it, so.
Yes, that's to stop valyn getting the ult as well.
Now they're going to be letting loose with their own reckoning. Okay, good tags. Push back the players on top screens. Aspas is eager to lay waste, isn't he, to the opposition. And this time, what kind of positions will he be playing into? That's a very deep Viper orb. It's going to make it tough, but here we go. Icy. The Thrash sends it forwards. Will his team be able to take the space off it? There's so many smokes in the way and out of lockdown as well. Definitely going to be breaking this one. It's just slowing down the timings for G2 once more.
They have a shock, molly, and nano.
And all of that's going to be delaying. Creeping towards inevitability here for Leviatán. The players are going to be toppling out towards the back of the side. Aspas cleaned up 3v3, but again, it's that util. How do you deal with these players? And awareness! Leaf is running rampant right now. Spraying through, going to break this code. Already diffused, stuck all the way.
But it's still very spread.
I got you.
As he used here, it's going to be clearing close here, but only 30 seconds left, and Lev have got the right read on this one. You can tell it. The high tide. They want to seek to fight this one and disrupt this plan before it can even go down. It's going to come down to the bullets, spraying through along with the util. Denied in the moment. So now G2, they do have to get that move on, picking up the spike here. Dizzy over the top. Not watched for. It's not even broken, but the right clicks. Mazino doing his best to sell copies and countless amounts of the bundles here still. Icy presses forwards. He's tucked though. His position is noted. Has to be the combined might and swing. 1v1. Leaf versus kiNgg. Tapping away, Leaf! Get broken nice and early here. Forwards. Being played. Even the drone being broken. That just spam through.
That's a good read, I think, actually, as well. The defense would be in an open position, looking to try to spam Icy, so you counter spam. And here comes that Thrash.
Yeah, using it to really pave the way forwards here onto the site. Make sure you can reclaim it for later.
Flood defense, set up to go.
Man, to get this plant online. And here's the flood out through the cove as well. They all take it into the right-hand side and approach over the rafters. They're tearing them to pieces, man. And again, it's down to Leaf. It's a 1v1. Just like that, him versus Aspas, and how much have we talked about it, this head-to-head. He has taken the timing forwards on the rope silently. As you go, Aspas! Any sort of expectation!
Toxins going up.
The economy, I thought it would be in a better spot than this. It looked like it was only one player that had forced on the bonus. It looked like it was only Jonah, but we've actually got 3 players coming in with only pistols.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if they're just saving up the money as well, because they know, okay, well, Aspas likes to force this outlaw, and everybody forced the sightline here of the Dizzy and the drone, which isn't going to get broken, so it clears the way. Peace of mind for G2.
Toxin screen down.
Up top, though, it's a high-low setup here with a reckoning forwards. They want to try and fight this one. Lev really getting active now into the mix, trying to take that initiative. JonahP, just a fadeaway shot there. I think maybe even getting slowed down in a moment, but he does find his target here, sprayed through into the cove. G2 trying to fight over this one, tooth and nail, but the util is just chopping him up. Anyone who tries to hold that ground with the backside of yellow nanoswarms not being broken here. Now the lockdown, it's perfect timing for Leaf.
They're gonna have to go.
And they have to go fast here. Cove has to be broken, and it is indeed. Everybody just getting shooter chopped up onto that defuse spot. Aspas, no choice now but to respect this one.
Do a good job pushing back the defenders and picking up an ult.
What's a call here with a reckoning? Flooding through. Lev looked like they wanted to have a good chance here, just trying to flood back into this one. Maybe with the Hunter's Fury, they might still choose to. Cleaves its way forwards. Only the one tag here. Icy not going to be pushed back away from the plan either. I believe that's just the wingman. So into the post plan with the pit down. Lay it out on top of it. Got everything necessary here. kiNgg is way ahead of the rest of his team. It's caught a nice little timing there, but has to dodge and juke away from the mollies and still dominating these angles. Not going to be pushed away from the pit. G2.
Take scenarios. He's still got Thrash, Hunter's Fury to work with. An opener and a closer again.
Yeah.
I think valyn's got a great idea of how to snowball these kind of rounds. And Leviatán, they're the
G2, I mean, there you run the fakes. You're talking about the conditioning is so damn well timed here. 5 players grouped up from G2. not hiding their intention here over towards B.
Yeah, you run the fake in the previous round. Now you can use the ults. Thrash to open, Hunter's Fury to close. And this is where you need hero plays.
That's why aspas is taking those liberties. Here, G2 has set themselves up now again with the wingman plan forwards.
If Tex gets a kill, he's got lockdown. And a lockdown here is amazing for retake. But he would need that kill.
And how does he even find it? It's too much to work through, man. I mean, walls on walls here, flying forwards into your face. It's a thrash. It's going to be expended here and pushing you away along with the darts, the raves of all that util emanating out. Out of late lurk as well on top of it. Leaf is really causing that distraction behind them. They've got so much to worry about right now. And how do they really even deal with it? It's aspas forwards here. The blade storm shut down.
Turn down.
There's Mazino. Chance to do some damage.
Made a footstep, I think.
Did hold up. How's that fight going, Leaf? Lose.
Com's position is really odd. You don't normally run your Sova behind yellow.
Just the off angle here in the movements. Is Com going to be a backup policy right from the back here with the Guardian in his face, but he's blinded up. Dizzy doing most of the work there for it, so all the kills. Kane, Tex seeking that timing. He's walked up right past even the wall. High tight on high tight again. It cuts up these angles, and it's an unfortunate one here because Mazino just doesn't realize that he's not even set up for that fight here. But as it fades away, doubled up, they were able to make that one happen. Valyn making noise now up through the flank here. They've got to try and deal with him in a dash to disengage and away, fading through. Lockdown needs to be broken, and Icy delivers that death. That util in their hand, Valyn. Spots it out with a jiggle. Wall up in their faces. Now the door open wide. They're really starting to press forwards here. They're all tucked in through tree. The nade pushed them back and away. Paranoia. Icy not looking behind him. Again, his back is being covered here. Aspas. What is that? Adjustment, really. A flick of the wrist, whatever you want to call it. He has just opened up the sight.
That's a ridiculous kill. Icy should have had that one, but Leaf responds. Leaf up top.
He's nice and fast into the action, isn't he? Right into the fray here. 2 versus 3. Still have to have some more magical moments, and Trent, he delivers one right into that lapse here still. Leaves it to Leaf. And he had a monster class before
the time on the clock. 30 seconds, 3 players defending A.
They're seeking to delay this one here. Okay, Rocket. See what sort of damage that aspas can do with an nade. At his feet, drop down to 54 health. The fuse just before it runs out, sent flying. And it has put that pause into G2. They couldn't quite disrupt that plan from going down. So into the post we go here. And they're holding for a heavy heaven setup. 2 players here, a little bit of a cross there. This was one into the pit. Orbs dropping, Icy. Chances to come alive into this one. Maybe he can make something happen for the rest of his team, but there's still smokes in the way. They want to clear out rubble.
They want to clear Tex first. This is a new protocol that teams are adding on the retake.
It's too much to clear, really, for them. Eventually trading him out. It's barely there, but how much more have they really got? The util, it's sent flying forwards and away. Mazino still with that high ground position, but he tucks away just at the wrong time. Aspas dropping them all.
Good paranoia.
Yeah, Orb's going to be pluming here. Good movement as well to just topple themselves up onto the box. JonahP, just the one before eventually falling. Smoke timing. Blocks off the heaven angle, but there's a slightest gap. Can't quite nail it. Leaf was looking for an easy shot there. A few spam kills as well. Trent tucked close and a bit of a one and done, and it's really just a one and none.
I'm not sure I'd want to push that, Mazino, because you know that there's a player inside there with a Marshall.
Marshall will do it. Hold up. This is eventually going away at G2. I mean, he's picked up this upgrade now, and Leaf, yes, his position is noted and known. Aspas, but it's to win out this fight. He's being distracted. Flying right over him with the satchels in play. Icy, it's making all sorts of distractions. Up and over you go, but you ran out of bullets. The right click. Potential's definitely there, but this time Lev moving over towards the B site. Knife 4. Good acknowledgement there. There's no quite tags happening whatsoever now. Their own knife are going to be used, and this is rapid by G2. I mean, they're just flooding right back into this one, making sure that all those noise and sound cues cut away. There's nothing really that Lev can rely on. No comms in sight. Lockdown, even being expended, just making sure that aspas has no avenues.
That was such a sick call from Valyn and Trent to immediately pop through Hobbit and just nightfall the whole of the site. Really fast reactions. It's left aspas in a essentially unwinnable spot.
Shouldn't be a way in.
For a player of his caliber, you've got to give respect, but you don't want to give too much space.
Take the fights together. Has to be the call by G2. And just spamming, waiting off somebody's contact. Yeah, as soon as Leaf takes...
big
like
ultimate for
aggressive. I mean,
G2.
Leaf is so far forwards here. How is he going to be escaping from the iron away? I mean, it's 1-for-1, but Leaf does so well to even get it in the first place.
Mazino is so deep. He Omen ulted way into spawn.
Into the back line. Trent spots him though. Smoke drops down. It will cover the retreat at least, but he is, I mean, just behind enemy lines, entirely expecting it. In fact, hearing it with a satchel play. He knew that Icy was on that high ground angle, and he has caught a timing of a lifetime. Trying to clear this guy out of position. Very ready for it. What ults will even be offloaded?
30 seconds left.
So Nedir trying to take the initiative forwards here with a seize, and they collapse right through the choke point. That is a cacophony of util enough.
You should run.
Makes a foul concoction, but with all that expended, the lockdown now has a bit of freedom to get used. Still, the plant does need to go down here. And time was running short.
left.
Still, it clears the way all the way through, even connecting onto that kill and to leave. I don't know why he's taking that fight out wide.
He's trying to break the lockdown there. He realized the lockdown was in a position where he could break it through the door, and he decided to send it.
So doubled up, smoke up, cuts up the angle. One more approach away for G2. Paranoia's good though. Satchel forwards! Mazino, no way! Mazino TP'd forwards. Valyn, you really seek to try and refight this one. They're not even thinking about it. Mazino again, the difference maker. You've got to have an extra layer, I think, if you're going to try and fight a rubble like that. Expecting at least that there could be a player to take up that space and positioning. Valyn risks to be taken, and
Another kind of hero setup.
Should get traded immediately, surely. Surely, locking it, ADS, Bulldog! That is just biting them to pieces! Shredded! Texto.
He is ready to defend A.
Making the right call.
I'm very impressed.
Paranoia through the door there. Valyn was blinded. He even just cuts it up with a smoke of his own here. This is excellent, to be honest. Even close quarters, action spraying and praying, but Icy is rewarded for it. And now that quick pivot, they hear the door being broken. Mazino is going to be this extra backstabber, lurking angle. Hearing it now, and he's got the ultra as well. Disengage entirely. He's backing away and through into the main angle. Leaf is going to be fast through with this one. G2 as well as a double-pronged attempt, and Leaf is none the wiser. Didn't expect Mazino to be repositioning there with a pit placed down, sitting nice and pretty onto that B site. This is now just an impossibility for G2 to decay. Already kicking in here for Trent. These kills, they know the money's running low.
They have to cancel the A hit. Oh, it was through the smoke as well. That's ridiculous, the kill on JonahP. But yeah, Mazino.
Odin, only a bit of damage though.
Very cool angle.
What is that?
That's so nice. It's an angle where the Odin can do damage, but you can't really get counter-spammed. Penetration just not good enough with the Phantom or a Vandal.
There's hesitation in the left camp. They're calling for which direction to even go into here with a Paranoia to really just supplement and help with the supportive util, waiting for that wall to go down. Mazino, he wins the fight out eventually. Icy dealt with. TP across. They realize that they've got access to that B side. Only a few players to really have to worry about. Trent up into heaven, and the back's against it as well.
This is not going to be a free retake, even though G2 have a player advantage. Lev have space. They're taking position over towards Waterfall, and it's a good plan for both them and Mazino. Could easily be another round where Mazino pulls out magic.
Who's it going to be swinging into in terms of the favor? I mean, Texas going walkabouts into their own spawning, but the door opened wide. There's a fight. Snake bite.
Mazino wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, Mazino wasn't ready for it, but he's going to be spraying through. 6 bullets, got to reload. Another fight comes through. There's a horn to set that one up and forwards. Tex still onto the angle, but now the last one left. Last man standing. He steps into it. Side set forwards though. Aspas, showstopper, slowed down with a bullet tag. Has to commit the rocket though. It's just a 1-for-1 in terms of the ults going out and wide. The bullet tag on with the nades. He's a little bit delayed.
G2's flood defense here is going to be massive. Nightfall, showstopper. How to Lev hold on?
They're so fast through it. I see. This rocket that could have been a difference maker. They would have taken the fight straight to them, just holding and locking down that choke point. That is the waterfall angle. Or the tails and trails are not going to be stopping them. I mean, the sound cues cut away. It matters not for them.
Bow down. What a round from kiNgg. Incredible shutdown and a 2K to boot.
You're joking.
I think it's still an excellent defense half from G2. But Lev have just stolen one back at the final hour.
And the money was bad.
Yep.
Barely any ults to work with.
Get into the pistol. Oh, and that's so much damage.
That is brave. A lot of damage done. Lucky to be alive there. Barely skirting past. Turret gone and done and dealt with the haunt as well, so it sets up IC nice and deep into this angle. Man down 2. Big fan of this position. You can play the post plant in a variety of ways. Tree control becomes important as well. Valyn's going to be that first line of defense. It's just playing deep onto the site.
It's Leaf's positioning, actually, that I'm paying attention to, because he's going to be able to backstab the Lev players when they go for the retake.
Here comes Lev. Nade flying forwards. Doesn't really set them up nicely for that fight here, but Mazino is going to be rapid right through the approach there, but not expecting it. JonahP touch corner, right click's not doing it, but just down to kiNgg. Only 48 health. He's got to spot out multiple players, finds the kill, but already the time's ticking. Already.
aspas has drifted, was defending C, now
Mazino.
over to B.
Mazino, I mean, they just cleared us with a snake bite. They might not even expect him to already be up there. Oh, he's in the animation. Spotted him, backs away. TP might be necessary here, at least to disengage in a way. Yep, it's an evacuation.
He was literally in another world. I mean, Omen players getting jump scared as they come out of their smoke animation.
You can probably relate to that.
Look at the positioning here of com.
Door opens. About 40 seconds to the mark now for G2 to start to make some movement around the map. Nade forwards here, but they haven't cleared out. Com! This guy is tearing them apart across 5 set up valyn. There's that response, but he's been softened up down to 7 HP.
30 seconds left.
Does have the spike, but just yet, that's just what she's known to do. aspas on the other side of the map, he's already got his ult on through the A side, so that should trigger some response, at least from G2. Valyn commits it with the ult as well. He knows he's got that space there, but can't get the kill. And the Prowler was just chasing, biting away at the heels.
He knows that both of these players anchoring on C have no audio because of the nightfall.
This retake from Lev now does have some potency behind it, like I said. All that A pressure, Valyn. He's dropped nice and early into this one. Nade rebounding forwards, but some kills need to be found here on the G2 side. They can't just give all this ground freely gained. aspas, now is the time to let loose with it. And a rocket makes a racket, not too much more past that. The rifles really seem to be doing most of the work. JonahP though, plan for Mound is still having to clear out these players, and they are doubled up onto it. Really miscommunication, but
happy to drive the whole of G2 into A.
Oh, they want to fight this. Leaf. Oh, he's just found him. The one lurking player. He's playing in that position and angle, and the entirety of A now opens up for him on top of it. I see. He's going to have that ult to showstopper. Does he choose to use it here? Yes. Maybe to offset it at least, making it nice and even. Flying forwards. Maybe not the intended target, but I think he was just hoping it would catch onto someone. And now, shoes on the other foot. G2 find themselves advantaged here into the post, still holding those close positions. It's up to Lev really to use that Utah to try and clear it. It's a Paranoian peak, and that is beautiful. Mazino, good timing and discipline taken with it. Satchel forward from aspas. Smoke up, horn broken. Close corner by valyn, not anticipated. And this guy, a thorn in their side here. Leave it to aspas once more, but it is an unwinnable situation. It should be, in all likelihood, and he recognizes it. Up and away, satcheling. Needs to keep this gun. Not entirely.
Big rubble fight now.
Massive one. This one could just turn the tide, and fighting all the way through. I mean, listen, lit up like beacons here, but no kills really to be collected. Running through them with all that util. I mean, they're just choked entirely. Can't get past the snake bites. And Leaf.
It's almost impossible for the lockdown to be used on C, and I think aspas is going to realize this in a moment.
And here's the chokehold. Lockdown. Got to be respected here.
30 seconds left.
Not quite though, aspas. Look at this guy. I mean, he just sends flying for the nade. Will get out, so he's not quite detained. Trent is beamed down in the approach. And yes, detained, but Icy needs to follow through with this one. He needs a few more kills right into the choke point. There goes the nade. It does prevent that one with the pit drop down. Now the showstopper. aspas. He's finding that value, finding that work down. 3 left to stand for G2. And the hopes and dreams of this series. They stand, and they might just fall right here, right now. But G2, from the moor almost, pulling it back into their hands. And it turns just like that. aspas again left in this spot.
They can't afford for the showstopper.
Doubled up though, off angles from Lev. Guns, barrels might be spotted. This game of timing is just brutal. G2 picked to pieces here as they look to just re-aggress over towards A, and they just don't expect kiNgg. The bait and switch play. Straight from the playbook of Lev. I mean, they pulled this one out earlier.
It's great. They dominate both ult ops in the fight. C fought 4, A fought 4, and Tex, he gets that opportunity to drive the dagger into the back of G2. It's left down to Trent and JonahP. In a 2v5, it's not possible. Lev have navigated these difficulties.
Where are you?
And it's all but wrapped up.
35 seconds left in the round. Contact plays in order here just to try and find any sort of advantage in the round, but it is wrapped up.
30
Surely it
seconds
should be. It's a mountain to overcome here, but Lev tested, pushed. Trent finds it. At least one kill to stay alive. A bit of breathing room into the round, but not surely the series. Tapping, not even sticking here into it. Paranoia in his face. Wide face, Mazino!